Hi, and welcome to this new tutorial about the camera tracking node in Nuke. So we're going to go through just a basic overview of the camera tracker, which appeared like around Nuke 6.0. And that's a feature I was really glad to get, as I'm a big fan of the camera tracking team in all the studios that I've been at. So today we're going to take this this plain footage, and we are going to make it so that hold on. So we're going to be tracking this shot. We're going to just take a segment of it from 1000 to 1175. So the goal here is to show you how to quickly create a camera if you have all the proper information concerning your camera. Okay, so here, if you click camera tracker, this requires Nuke X. So if you're using a non-commercial version, make sure you're using Nuke X. So here we have the input. So we're looking for a sequence, and then here you have a mask option. So basically you can isolate part of your image to just track that particular section, or if you want to remove unwanted movement, like let's say a car passing by or something, that's a good way to do it. In our case, when you look at the footage, you want to have everything on. So every time I do a camera track of a shot, I tend to look at the entire frame range, which, you know, normally you should, just to see what type of movement, if there's something going in the frame or not. So in our case, I think we are pretty good. And as you can see, there's enough feature in the shot to actually properly extract a camera move from this. So in the camera tracking node, you're going to find that here in the film back preset, there's actually a lot of camera preset for the film sensor size. If it's not in this list, it's an easy find on the internet. In our case, I know this was shot with the Blackmagic production camera, so this sets the proper film back size in millimeters. Also, we want to specify that the lens that we use was in our case, a 14 millimeter lens. So by adding that additional information, it's going to help Nuke compute the camera solve. So once you have that, it's easy as clicking in the analysis tab, just a tracker. So basically it's going to take, oh, I forgot to set the range. I just want to track the frame range that's here. So I'm going to clear that, restart track. So it starts at our proper frame range, and it doesn't calculate from frame 1. So as you can see, the camera tracker is taking only a minute. This is a 4K, it's 4K footage. And what you want to do, you see that green bar, and that's the step I did, was basically I tend to localize the footage on my system hard drive, so it's faster, especially if in a large studios. I've seen cases where if you don't localize your footage, sometimes it takes 5 to 10 times where it should. So in our case, we want to go fast for this tutorial because we don't want to have you going through 20 minutes of footage to just figure out how to track a shot. So from that resulting tracking, we're going to be able to extract a digital camera move from this particular shot, which is, good to have if you're looking to add additional CG elements, or plainly do a digital matte painting, or adding smoke, or whatever you want to any particular shot. Camera tracking is basically the base of every single visual effects these days, so it's good to know. So if I scroll, you're going to see that it detected a lot of features, and again, this is all default settings. So once you do have all your features throughout your frame range, you then click Solve. And here you have it. So we have a lot of green, which is good. We have a 2.99 error, which for 4K resolution, it's still decent. What we're going to want to do is, in the auto track node, there's a delete on solve, and then delete rejected nodes. And I usually tend to update the solve afterwards using the frame range. And you can see it lowered the tracking error margin to just a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just reduce that a bit. So the tolerance of everything, you see it went down to 2.17. Just going to update that one more time, 2.12. You know what? It's a 1.5 error per frame. It's for 4K resolution, it's pretty good. So once you're done, here there's multiple options. Basically, if you just want the camera out of this, well, you can see all the features that it tracked, and you can see the resulting camera move. I'm just going to set the sequence properly. So here you have it. It's the camera. What I tend to do quickly as an extra tip is if you go in here and you click on Scene Plus, which is great. It's basically creating a quick environment scene and scanline renderer of your entire scene, which is kind of cool to have. So you can see all the features being tracked. Onto here. And let's say I would want to have a logo on the tip of the plane. I could, I'm going quick. I'm going to do a more in-depth tutorial of the camera tracker, which is again a tool that I really love. And so if I put a checkerboard on here so you can see it. Here we go. So if I press play. So for me, the camera tracker, again, is the base of any shot you want to do. But what's fun about it is that once you do have a proper solve and it's actually going well for this, even though I'm missing a few steps like lens on distortion before tracking and other stuff, this is a quick and easy way, if you're doing simple effects, to just plug it in and be on your way with a proper camera track. So everything you do is properly sitting in the shot. So as you can see, my card is actually tracking at the proper position here on the plane. So this is it. This is a quick, startup to your day of using Camera Tracker on Nuke. Thanks a lot for watching, and be on the lookout for your next tutorial. Thank you.